You know what? I'm just going to get into it. I'm not even going to explain what just happened, but here we go again. Hello everybody, this is the big one, ladies and gentlemen. We're here on Forever United TV looking ahead to Liverpool versus Manchester United, the biggest game in world football. Ruben Amorim has been hinting as to the lineup. We're going to get into that and what he said to MUTV. And don't forget, of course, the watch along is tomorrow and we have got that covered here on Forever United TV. Make sure you join us there as well. We are starting tomorrow's content at 8 o'clock in the morning with Ruben Amorim's embargoed version of his press conference. Will we get any hints in that press conference as to what is really going to happen starting lineup wise? We're going to get through our thoughts. We're going to talk about everything that we think should happen, everything that we think is going to happen. I'm going to get my predicted lineup up on the screen with you all in a moment as well. And yeah, I feel like this is... It's not so much a D-Day for Ruben Amorim because everyone I've spoken to today and everyone said the same thing. Even when we went out for a walk earlier on, someone came up to me and said, tomorrow, really, it's just about what Manchester United perform like. It's like everybody's forgetting about the result tomorrow. I mean, get your comments in and talk to me. And if you are catching up later on as well, then please do get into the comments section. The Premier League is back, thank God. And it's been painful over the last couple of weeks over international duty because we've had this massive game hanging there in the distance ready to come back to. And I think this is why it's just dragged out even more. The fact that United won has helped us, of course, but we want to see how Man United react to that win. And it's just another horrible game to come back to where Ruben's needing to get another win to make it his first two in a row. And we all know that that's going to be hanging over our heads as well. United's form against Liverpool, let's be honest, it's crap. It really is, isn't it? It's awful at Anfield. And nobody's expecting much. And like as I said, like people on the street are actually talking to me and saying, look, it's Liverpool, I'm not expecting much. And it's just because of what's happened before. And this is the thing and where United are at right now. Ruben has been talking to MUTV, and I'm going to go through what he's discussed and maybe some little hints, subtle hints and teases as to what he might actually be doing on Sunday, tomorrow, and what lineup he's going to pick. We're going to look at everything. We're going to look at Liverpool. We're going to look at how this might go down. And in fact, let's just crack on with bringing up the actual stats on this game. And let's bring up our little overlay here, courtesy of Stream Builder. So, as you can see already, like straight away on the screen there, the bookies have gone massively on the home win. Apparently, Man United have got a 19% chance of winning this game at Liverpool tomorrow. Thanks. Like, fill us with confidence, why don't you? Like, I mean, Man United fans are sceptical and obviously still ready to massively criticise under any dark cloud and poor performance as it is. But yeah, why don't you just throw us in there, like while you're at it? And it is horrible at the moment because we're seeing now the league table is starting to take shape. You can see that Manchester United have dropped back down into 11th right now. Can we bounce back up? In fact, Manchester United can only get to a maximum of 8th now. So this is where it starts to tighten up in the league. So a win and then a loss and then a win and then a loss, that's not going to get you up the league that far anymore. It's starting to spread itself. Already now you've got Arsenal, you've got Liverpool, you've got Manchester City as your top three. It's starting to take shape. And they always say, don't they, come October, have a look at the league table and then you will see who is really in the mix and who is really going to be in contention. So realistically, looking at it right now, with them three there, Bournemouth should have been there today, but for that late equaliser from Mateta. Look at it, didn't lose that game, actually. We was going to be doing the watch-along for the Arsenal game, actually, but my voice, and I've just seriously under the weather in the moment. I've just, it wasn't in me, and I thought, you know what, let's just do our look ahead to the Liverpool game and get that out of the way. So we're going to concentrate on this. Form-wise, Manchester United haven't beat Liverpool in the last three, as you can see on your screen there. When you're looking at the actual, well, that was the head-to-head, but actual form for Manchester United, league-wise, in the last two games, we've actually got, in the last three games, Man United have actually got 2 wins. So we picked up 6 points in the last 3 league games. Liverpool have only picked up, I think it is, what is it, 3? Because they've lost the last 2 in the league. There you go, actually. Look at it there. Obviously, you can count in. So if we look at it, the last 5 games, Manchester United are matching Liverpool for form. So really, when you look, you can look at obviously the league table, and we've got a couple more defeats on there, haven't we? But in the last 5 league games, Manchester United and Liverpool are dead heat. in the games and the head-to-heads. 2-2 draw at Anfield last time out. Last season, obviously, Arne Slot battered Erik Ten Hag at Old Trafford, and that was another nail, a big, deep nail in Ten Hag's coffin, really, wasn't it? And it wasn't long after that he was let go and, yeah, booted out of Manchester United. But before that, again, a 2-2 draw at Old Trafford. Remember the Bruno Fernandes lob? Yep, that one from just inside the Liverpool half. That was that game. So, I mean, United, at least we can actually say we scored a couple of goals at Anfield last season, and Liverpool were better last season, really, form-wise. So we could take that into it. And look, Liverpool fans are bottling it right now because Man United, if they get the win and they pull off this shock, then we're 2 points behind. 2 points behind Liverpool in the league. And we're just talking now about them being third in the league table. So that's how big this is tomorrow. And obviously it's a far cry. And do you know what? I was going into the City game a lot more confident than what I am going into this Liverpool game. And I'm using the City one as an example because it was straight after the international break, off the back of that win against Burnley. And we're coming back and we're thinking, oh, here we go. We can just do it. Let's carry on. No, it didn't happen. And obviously, we were where we were. And then we needed that win against Sunderland at the end of that last group of games just to keep us afloat again. I don't think Ruben's going anywhere if we lose to Liverpool, by the way. I just feel like it needs to be a dramatic loss for any of them rumours to come back in anyway. But look, let's get into what I think is going to happen tomorrow. I'm going to put my predicted... excuse me. I'm going to put my predicted team up on the screen now. What I think is going to be Ruben Amorim's lineup tomorrow. This is the sort of gauge of where I'm actually at, because Ruben's been talking, and he's been talking about the South American players, the Brazilian players doing all the travelling and getting back later. So that's why I've got Mason Mount in for starters in the front three. I think Mason Mount in there is, I think that's inevitable, because Cunha didn't start the last game, and Cunha was one of the last back internationals and all of that. No Casemiro. I'm pretty certain that is going to be the case. I couldn't believe it last time when we played Manchester City when he put Manuel Ugarte in. But I'm now preparing myself for this to happen again. The fact that he didn't say or give away enough on Mazraoui being ready, that's why I've got Dalot and Patrick Dorgu in at wing-backs at the moment. Just in what I think he's going to do. I would play Ahmad and I would ditch Dalot. But I don't think Ruben will do that. And this is what I think Ruben will do, not what I would do anyway. Obviously, Mbeumo and Sesko take care of themselves. They were back in plenty of time from internationals. Luke Shaw, Matthias de Ligt and Lenny Yoro. Both de Ligt and Shaw haven't played any international football, so I could see them two definitely starting this game. The only question mark we've got is if Lenny Yoro plays or Harry Maguire plays. And it's a part of this predicted lineup here where I've put my own thoughts into it. And I've gone, surely he's going to give Lenny Yoro a chance here and play him, the quicker player. Because we're coming up against a very, very quick front line in what Liverpool have got here. So I would go with that. And I think that just gives us a little bit more pace because Yoro's there. And obviously Senna Lamens is going to start. By the way, good shout, bit of a shout out for Radak Vitek. Another clean sheet for him again today for Bristol City and a man of the match performance again. We are looking strong in the goalkeeping area right now, Manchester United. So, yeah, I'm actually really happy with where we're at in the goalkeeping area. And I hope that we can obviously continue to see Senna Lamens in goal. But let me know what you think of that lineup, everybody, and where you would go. I'll make some changes as well. I'll bring up some of your comments, actually, on this also. Excuse me. There's lots of opinions on this, and there's lots of people having their say on what they would do. It's like Carl says there straight away. I think he might play Maguire over Yoro. I can totally see that. I do. And I think it would be suicide. Who am I to say that? I'm just another fan with an opinion, obviously. But I do think Maguire's got a big chance. He could have 3 centre-backs in there that have played no international football if he wants, that are fully fresh and have 2 weeks off. So there is a shout for that. I wouldn't do it. I really wouldn't. But look, this is Ruben Amorim, and he's full of surprises, isn't he? Jace there says we will win at Anfield. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure on that one. I'm definitely not that confident that Man United will get the win at Anfield. Like I said before, we've got an absolutely shocking record at Anfield, and it is a bounce-back game. A bounce-back game for Liverpool. That's what I'm worried about the most. They are going to come back, and they are going to be chomping at the bit. They need to make amends for their poor form. The Liverpool players are being criticised by the fans. Slot's being criticised by the fans. And it's going to be really interesting tomorrow how they come out. I think they're going to come out of the blocks absolutely steaming out of the blocks. And I think it's going to be a difficult watch for United fans early doors in this game. My prediction in this is if United can stay in the game and we keep it tight, as in don't concede the first goal, if it's still level going after about 25, 30 minutes, we got a chance. We've definitely got a chance. So I feel that's United's best hope, that we don't get blown away early doors. Of course, you would say that. You said that in any game. But Liverpool, you know what happens with United. We just get absolutely tated early doors. And we just can't come back. If Liverpool score first, I do fear for what happens to United. Obviously, in every game we've conceded first in this season, we've lost. And that obviously does fill me with, a lot of fear. When United do score first, we pick up points. In every single league game, we've picked up points when we scored the first goal. So, again, first goal. We shouldn't be relying on scoring the first goal. We really shouldn't. But we still have to look at what's happened this season. Graham says you can't be entirely happy with the goalkeeper situation when your number one has only one game to his name and Bender is the alternative. Yeah, you could look at that, Graham, and you could pick something out of nothing there like you have done, you lemon. I was joking, by the way, but yeah, I'm happier. Maybe I should have said happier, but yeah, Lamens is a better goalkeeper than Onana. Vitek coming in next season, I don't think we need to buy a goalkeeper. So, situation really, just to elaborate on it a little bit more, we don't have to spend any of our money on a new goalkeeper this summer, is how I see it. That's how I see it anyway. Is this a Liverpool fan? Why would we win at Anfield? No, it's not. It's a United fan. United fans are delusional as F. And as soon as it doesn't go like that, starts the witch hunts. Is that what you would do, mate? Pete Storm? Is that what you would do? Would you jump onto Ruben? If we lose to Liverpool, are you going to be after Ruben's head? It's another question I want to ask the chat, actually. Please do get into the comments on that one. If we lose to Liverpool tomorrow, do you think we would be all after Ruben's head? Would you? Look, Sir Alex Ferguson lost at Anfield. This is just that fixture that he's probably going to get a free hit with. I've heard that mentioned quite a bit, actually, this week, the free hit at Anfield, because obviously the expectation is that Liverpool win. Their record at home is absolutely phenomenal. They've beaten everyone at home. They've already beaten Atletico Madrid and Arsenal at home already this season. So, yeah, in terms of that top four, Liverpool have beaten Bournemouth and Arsenal out of that top four right now at Anfield this season. So we are up against it. I think Arsenal are 1-0 up in their game. That has just been sent through as well. So Arsenal are comfortably top of the league. Liverpool need to react. Is that something that we need to be looking at and taking seriously? Because they're going to want to come out and they're going to want to come out fast against Manchester United and try and get back to the top. If they don't pick up points tomorrow, Liverpool, I think the bookies are going fully on Arsenal being the favourites to take the title. So, yeah. Scott says, Amorim should have been sacked months ago. Standards are on the floor and United fans blaming everyone except the man responsible. I don't think that's the case, Scott. I think there's plenty of people that have blamed Ruben Amorim. I'm still sceptical of Ruben Amorim. I do think that we are going to have to see a lot more. Look, the game hasn't been played yet, but I can already fear what's coming. I can just sense it. Look, Kenna then. Amorim out immediately. And there's another one there. Vern says, Amorim should have been gone long ago. He's the worst ever manager for United. If he starts to win a couple of games, it turns around. I know it's an if. And we've not seen enough to convince ourselves that the if will come true and we will get what we want. So again, yeah, I'm not saying that Ruben's look. The Ruben Amorim situation is going to take care of itself anyway. I think that's where we're at. I think that's where everyone's at. We've all got an opinion. We've all seen enough, or we've not seen enough, and it's going to be an inevitable again. I don't care what Ruben has been told by Sir Jim Radcliffe. I don't care what Sir Jim Radcliffe said in his interview, on his podcast, and I still think that if the results go wrong in these next 4 games, he's gone in the next international break. I do. They have to go drastically wrong. Bad news for United today again, though, and I feared this might happen. Ange Postecoglou sacked by Nottingham Forest. So now we're going to get the Nottingham Forest bounce-back manager syndrome. And whoever comes in there is going to be raring to go when we play them in a couple of weeks' time. So we've got this game today. Danny Welbeck's on fire for Brighton, and they're now back ahead of us in the league table. They're at Old Trafford next weekend. Then it's the new Nottingham Forest manager's turn, and then we've got Spurs. It's not looking good, and United are going to have to really upset the apple cart on these results here. I'm expecting a loss. Imagine Amorim in his 3-4-3 brain. How many goals scored and conceded? In terms of that team on the screen right there, is there anything that you would change that you think Amorim is going to do? I can play around with it and we can bring it up anyway and adjust it. So let me know, everybody. Get into the comments section. In that team there, can you see that being any different? Going off what you've listened to, what you've read, do you think there'll be anyone different in there? Don't go with what you think. Just go along with what you actually think Ruben Amorim will do. And that's what I want from you in the comment section, everybody, as well. I believe, look at that there. There's P Storm says, I believe 100% Amorim is our boss. He is the man that will transform the club around, and he will, that's for if people let him and they don't want him. Look, Ruben will go if he doesn't get results. It's as simple as that. Simples. Let's see. Is there anyone else wanting to change anything? Keeper Lamans back for Managerial Euro Dog. No, not what you want. What you think Ruben Amorim will do. Just doesn't care. Okay. All right, Simon. Spirit says, it's only 11 men behind the ball. Dinosaur dice. No worries, Adam. Yeah. Okay. I'm not feeling the vibe in the chat. I'm feeling quite a lot of worried Man United fans jumping in right now. And it is a concern. There is no one really fully confident that Manchester United can get this job done. I know that. But at the end of the day, look, we are heading into the biggest game in world football, and anything can happen. Anything at all can happen. In fact, you know what? In terms of the actual team, I actually do believe that we are going to see maybe Harry Maguire for Lenny Yoro. So let's put Maguire in to where Lenny Yoro is. And I think is that more likely to be the team now? What do we reckon? I think so. I think this is where we're actually going to be. Personally, I think. I was hoping more for Lenny Yoro, and that's what I said. Ivan said he'll start Casemiro. I don't think he will. I think all the hints and the teases for Ruben Amorim have been around Manuel Ugarte starting. I think he will again. I don't think it's a smart move. I really don't. I think he's... well, let's just see. It's all we can do. But we've already seen Man United fail us so many times. But we're still just sat here as a Man United fan base hoping that they can change. And again, the reality is, when we look at it later, if United lose, we'll sit there and we'll be looking back on what we're saying here going, we told ourselves we shouldn't have got excited. We shouldn't have thought that we could get back-to-back wins against Liverpool and win at Anfield. The inevitable is there. It's bound to happen. And yeah, there you go. And we're back to where we was, looking at another game at Old Trafford that we need to win so Ruben keeps his job. That's the hard bit to take. You don't want to think this way but you're driven to it because you've seen what's happened already last season and then go into this season. Hypothetically speaking, we lose at 5-1. What do we do? Sunset. If we lose 5-1, Ruben loses his job. I don't think Manchester United can afford to get battered. If we get absolutely pummeled tomorrow, then I think Ruben Amorim will be sacked. I think he was. Kaz doesn't think he will. But look, if he is absolutely battered tomorrow, I think he gets the sack. But it has to be a humiliation. Now, don't get me wrong. If we lose 5-1 because we've gone down to 10 men, I think he'll be given a little bit more rope. But if this team don't turn up and they completely bottle it and show nothing at all, then I think he's in trouble. I do. Because I think the pressure will be too much. I really do. Look, I feel like he is going to be okay for these next 4 games. I do think that they are going to give him these next 4 games. It has to be humiliation for Manchester United. And I don't see United being humiliated. I think the players want to play for Ruben Amorim. I think they do want to be behind him. So I think if he is going to go, it's going to be in the next international break. I think if he gets 6 points from these next 4 games, he'll survive. Again, it'll be the same scenario. And I think he'd have to get around about 3 points out of the next 12 and would be firmly back down 14th, 15th in the league table at that point if that happens. If that is the case, then I think he'll be gone. And my prediction is, and I always said it, I think the Brighton game is the bigger game. I think Brighton is massive because United need to keep winning at home. If we keep winning at home, then we'll be right up there pushing for European places. We know we will because we're not going to be cut adrift. And we'll pick up the odd win here and there against the lesser teams away from home. Surely, like we got to. But Old Trafford is the one thing that Ruben needs to make his own. Like Old Trafford needs to be a fortress. If he can keep winning his home games, eventually we will. And this group of games, to be fair to Ruben, this group of games will be looked at and got, right, first 8 games, you've got the top 4. First 8 games of the season. I know Man United lost to nearly everyone last season, but still, like that is a tough group of games to get through. And then, obviously now, after that Sunderland game, you've got Liverpool, then 1 home game, and then another 2 away games where we don't do well. He has to change something away from home, I think. I think he needs at least 6 points out of these next 12 in these next 4 games. Lots of people just not believing in Ruben Amorim at all. Amorim has no clue about the Prem. Well, he does from last season, I'll say that. True Pete says, we will lose 4-1. That's how bad United are. God, there's no one confident at all about Man United actually getting anything from this game. You can't play Maguire unless we sitting deep. I think we would go toe-to-toe with them and go with Euro. Also, just to add, Dalot is atrocious. You don't need to tell me that. I've been saying it for a while now. Andrew, is that having a go at me? Or let's just read it out anyway. I don't know if it is having a go at me. Oh my effing God, what a disgrace of a so-called United fan. I've been a fan since 1970 and would never talk like that about a United manager. Like what? A reality? Is that me, mate? I don't know. You're going to have to put some context on that one, pal. I'm just reading out what the rest of the fans in the same chat as you are, Andrew, buddy. And again, I do think that Ruben Amorim will be sacked. I'm not saying I want him to be sacked. I think he will, because I'm going off what's actually happened before, mate. So if that is where you're going with it, just probably listen to how I said it, probably, mate, because I don't want him to go. I don't. I just know what's coming. That is the harsh reality of what it is being a Man United fan right now. Let's see. Amorim's getting the sack at some point this season, so the sooner it happens, the better, instead of clinging on to the inevitable. Okay? There you go. That's like I'm saying. That it's not just me. I'm reading these comments out, and these are United fans that don't think he's going to survive. In Wales, all your football coach getting excited applying for United manager position. No idea what that means, Derek. Adam, why does he keep changing the back line during the game? Honestly, no idea, mate. And it does my head in. It does. It really is, I think, a pointless substitution. Centre-backs don't need to be substituted. Ever. They don't do as much running as the rest of the team does, and there is no reason why you would disrupt your backline. That is the foundation to your game, and I just don't think there's any reason to do it. But that is what Ruben does consistently. So let's just pray that he settles finally on a back three, that he doesn't need to substitute every time he gets a chance to, because it's always at the same time as well, isn't it? Have you noticed? Always in the same minutes where he actually substitutes his defenders. Crazy. London, thank you for that gifted membership, my friend. Really appreciate that, buddy. What the heck would you put Maguire and Dalot in the same side? It's not me. I'm just predicting what will happen, because I know that Ruben likes Maguire. I know that he loves Dalot, and Dalot's my biggest concern in this game. He's had good games before at Anfield, but this is a massive, massive concern for me. Dalot at Anfield, I just think is a recipe for a battering. I think he'll get cooked on that side. But Ruben believes in him. And this is the big thing that a lot of people have got against Ruben Amorim, and that is that he is playing the same players that keep on failing and poor performances. We can all talk about the players that don't play well, and Ruben can't go on the pitch and play for these players, but he can definitely pick them and drop them. And that's what a lot of United fans have got a big issue with. Pete says, Adam, I don't think that we don't believe but don't want to get the hopes up because of our own, because of our on and off form. Yeah, no one is getting carried away. I don't think there's been one person in the chat that said we're going to batter Liverpool or go in and get the win. And no one is saying that confidently either. It's just where we are right now is in a very, very difficult position because we just haven't seen any consistency to get our hopes up. In terms of other players, what we've got there to bring into this game, on the bench, who could you bring into this? What have you got? You got Ahmad there. I think I would start Ahmad. I mean, I'll tell you what I'll do. If you're going to play a 3-4-3, here's what I would do. This would be my team. So let's play along with what I think should happen. And I know this is just my opinion, by the way, everybody. And it is a pure sort of guess, but I just think it would be more balanced doing it this way. So let's bring it up again. So I'm going to change this up now. In terms of the back line, I'm going to go back to what I had before. So that's putting Lenny Yoro in a back three. So I'm only saying this because I think he's going to play a back three. So if he's going to play the back three, this is the best team, I think, to play in it. Manuel Ugarte would be straight out of this team for me. And Casemiro would be right back in there. So I've changed Yoro from Maguire, and I've changed Ugarte I've changed Casemiro from Ugarte. In this game, I would play Dalot, or I'll play Ahmad. He's definitely going on the right-hand side. Let's just bring him in now. Right, Amad Diallo out on the right wing-back. Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes. I'm thinking, do I change Bruno Fernandes? Do I stick Bruno on the bench? I'm stuck with this. I'm stuck with this one. So here's what I'm going to do. And this is how I feel Manchester United would benefit, personally anyway. Bruno, I'm going to switch you with Mason Mount. What do you think about that? Look, I just feel like that's got Bruno and his discipline up front, and the pressing and the energy, and Bruno alongside him. I'm just going with what the 3-4-3 situation is. That's how I would do it. I would put Casemiro and Mason Mount in the middle, play Ahmad, Dorgu. That's my midfield four. Up front, I've got Benjamin Sesko, Bruno Fernandes, and Brian Mbeumo. That all of a sudden has added a goal threat. It's added energy and some. We've now got Bruno and Mount playing alongside the likes of Mbeumo. Bruno can drop back in and actually make even if you wanted to change this up a little bit here, you could go 5 in midfield. That could be a 3-5-2 instantly with Bruno dropping back in also. So let's just see. I mean, in actual, let's see if I've got this formation up on here. I don't think I have. But no, I'm just going to leave it there as it is. But that, for me, would be how we move it. I think that would be a completely different shape. I mean, look, I'm leaving Cunha out of this side here. I think that's just to add a little bit more energy. I think Cunha could come on and change the game, of course, but just to mix it up, just to add a little bit of difference in there, that's what I would go with anyway. But look, that is my team, and that's what I think would help Manchester United. We do need to have a goal for it, otherwise it's pointless. If we're going there to defend, then we're going to get battered. Simple as. United will get absolutely pummeled if we just go there to defend, and that's my biggest concern. That is my biggest concern. Look, let me know what you think, everybody. Get your comments in the comments section. I'm going to wrap things up there. That is just my quick fire look ahead to tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be crazy, everybody. It really is. Double-header live show, first thing in the morning, 8 o'clock. Make sure that you're there, everybody. We'll have the embargoed version of all of Ruben Amorim's press conference in on the show tomorrow. Obviously, then we'll move across to football talks as well. I have just put another video out onto Football Talks now about Garnacho's performance against Chelsea. You're going to go and watch that video. I promise you now, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. So please do jump across to Football Talks and check that out, everybody. And make sure that you give me your comments on that one. But that is it for now, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow on match day. I'm going to go and rest up my voice. I'm going to try and take some Lemsips and feel a little bit better. And then we'll go from there. But for now, that is us all done on here. Thanks, everybody. The big day is tomorrow. Make sure that you're there. Live shows in the morning, the watch-along as well. There is going to be a calling show tomorrow also. So make sure that you are involved, everybody. But thanks for now, everyone. I'll see you all tomorrow.